Now, next start our new tool, that is next tool, that is auto record. Okay. The auto record option you will find in manage, in the drafting and annotation, then manage. If I go to 3D modeling and if I go to manage, there also you will find this particular option. Okay. Now go to drafting and annotation. So as of now, the recorder is not on. Suppose let me draw a rectangle here and a circle. So this is drawn before the action record on. Now from here you will see that we have option called record. Can you see that? Starts the action recorder. So click on that. Once you click on that, you will observe that, just close it. Yes. Once you start that, you will see that stop button has activated. And near the cursor, you will see that red color ball is there. So now let us draw. Go to rectangle. Okay. Use donut. Inside dia, let's take it as 10. Outside dia is 20. Place it. Place it. Place it here. Now can you see that action tree is being made? In that action tree, if you observe that rectangle is made at, see where the rectangle is drawn, first corner and second corner is shown here. Okay, first corner and second corner has been shown. Okay, then after that donut, see, in it is nothing but your inside dia. This is outside dia of the donut. Then the positions of the donut, the first, second, third, fourth position, and then cancelled. So that's the donut. We have total 5 donuts, right? So all the 5 donuts are shown here. So it is recorded in the action recorder. To stop it, you can go to stop from here. Now it will show, it will ask, what do you want to name it? Deep Unacademy. Okay? Yes. Okay. Now you can see. Suppose, let me delete this. Let me delete this. Can you see here? Deep Unacademy is here. Okay, if you play that, see, if you play that particular object will come. Okay, let me try to record some more objects. Start recording. Okay, start recording. Now go to polygon. Number of side is 6. Center inscribed in circle like this. Now I will go to donut. Inside diameter is 50. Outside diameter is 60. So see how it will look. So that's the donut. Okay. Now if you stop it, again it will ask for another name. Polygon. Okay, that's the polygon. You can add description here as well. Okay, now, okay. The action macro cannot have same name as a command. Okay. Polygon with donut. Why it was not taking? Because I had used the polygon command to draw. So polygon with donut. Now click on OK. Invalid characters. Just a second. Why invalid character is showing? Because I have used space here. Now it will not show. This is done. Okay. Now delete this and also delete this. Okay. Now suppose if I select Deepan Academy from here and play this, then this will come. This option will come. Now if I select polygon with donut and start play button, then you will see this thing. See, I have some other name as well. See, act macro 001 and play that. Is there anything which is added? No. Why? Because I might not have drawn something. Go to play. Now see, it will show this. At some point of time, I might have created this. So that is showing. Okay. See, if I go to act macro 001, in the action tree, it is blank, completely blank. In the action tree, it is completely blank. So that's why nothing shown. If you go to act macro 002, then if you play this, now you will see this part. Okay. Exactly. I hope this is clear. This is very, very clear. Okay. So that's the action record and you can stop it from there as well. Okay. Now, this is done. Now, let us see one more option that is selection cycle. Okay. Selection cycle. What is that? You can activate or deactivate the selection cycling from here, on off. Can you see? Suppose if you don't find that particular option from here, you can go to customization and you must make sure this is checked. This selection cycling is checked. Now, what is that? Let me create a rectangle here. Okay, let me create a rectangle and a line above it. Okay, now I know that we have two objects right here, a rectangle and a line. And my objective is to select that particular line. How to do that? I'll use selection cycle. So it must be turned on. If it is on, then you will see that. Just left click here. Left click here, you will see the option will show which object you want to select, whether it is line or it is a polyline. Obviously, this rectangle is a polyline, right? Series of line. So suppose I want to select this particular line. So I selected that particular line. Okay. So this is how selection cycle works. Now, let us delete this. I have gone to 3D. How? See from here. From here, go to top and select southeast isometric. Okay. I would prefer, suppose create a line here like this. Okay. Now, let us suppose go to 3D modeling and try to extrude this line. So you will see that this will come, a surface will come. Suppose if I create a circle here, okay, just some part of 3D I am explaining here. In the 9th module, we will start our 3D. Go to extrude, select this object, select this circle and press enter. Now it is asking height. You can give randomly height like this. Now you can see the cylinder has been made. Suppose if I create one more circle here, so it is created. A circle is there and a cylinder is there. So sometimes what happens, go to from here, go to shaded with edges. Sometime what happens, this cylinder and this particular circle, I want to select that particular circle. So you have to switch on your selection cycle. Come here, you will see that two square shape object will come. So select that, you will see that 3D solid and circle has came. So you can select 3D solid, that is cylinder, or you can select this circle. If you have selected this circle, you can do whatever you want with that circle. We have lots of commands in here. I will explain that in future. Even here, you can see that I have this surface and also this line. So select that. You will see that surface extrusion do you want to select, or do you want to select line? Suppose I want to select this surface extrusion. So that will be selected. And you can, whatever you want to do, you can do that. So that's the beauty of selection cycle. Okay. From here, go to top again. I hope this is clear. This is very much clear. So the selection cycle, it must be, try that it must be always turned on. Okay. Now let us see our next tool, that is draft setting, which is very useful. So in that draft setting, I will be explaining some of the important options from the draft setting. So the shortcut key for draft setting is DS. DS, draft setting. Enter. Once you click DS, type DS and press enter, you will see that this draft setting dialog box will get open. Okay. So we have different options: snap and grid, polar tracking, object snap, 3D object snap, dynamic input, quick properties, selection cycle. So let us see one by one. Some of the things we already know, like this polar tracking you already know. This polar tracking option you already know. Okay, while I was explaining the function keys and O snap, object snap, that time I explained. I also explained about this additional angle. Let us revise that. Let me change this. Let me delete this. Delete this. Let us say incremental angle as 45. Additional angle, new angle, let us take 20. Again new, let us take it as 25. Again new, let us take it as 35. Again new, let us take it as 55. Okay, let us, polar tracking is on. You can switch it on and switch it off with the help of F10, and then okay, right? Exactly. Now try to draw a line. See, it is tracking at 0 degree. See, again it is tracking at 20 degree. Then because I, in the additional angle tab, I added 20 degree, I added 25 degree. See, just see near the cursor, 25 degree, less than 25 degree. Then 35 degree, see 35 degree, it is tracking at 35 degree. Then our incremental angle will come, that is 45 degree. Incremental angle is 45 degree, that's why see 45 degree. Okay, now it will show 55 degree. See 55 degree. I hope you are getting my point. So that's the beauty of polar tracking. Suppose you want a line at, suppose you want a line at an angle of 25 degree and the line ka length is 200. So type 200 and press enter. So there will be a line of 200 length and its angle will be 25 degree with respect to the horizontal. So go to DS, enter. So in the DS, you will see this polar tracking, because this angle, these additional angles I added because I want to track these angles as well in the polar. Okay, so this is clear. This object snap I have already explained, and some of the things you already know: this endpoint, midpoint, center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection of two lines. If there are some intersection of two lines, then there will be showing. Quadrant can be seen on the circle and ellipse. Okay, so node, all these things you might have observed somewhere, or you will be observing in future. That's not an issue. Okay, so yes, now this 3D object snap, that you will see in the 3D. Okay, that I will be explaining in the 3D. Okay, snap and grid. The first option is snap and grid. See, you already know, while I was explaining in the function keys how to snap on or off. It can be switch on or off by F9 function key. Then we have another grid on or off. How to put the grid on or off? It is done by F7. Okay, F7 key. Exactly. Right. So snap on F9 and grid on off, it is done by F7. So first let us focus on snap. So you can see snap x spacing is 10, snap y spacing as at 10 only, equal x and y spacing. So let us switch it on. You can switch it on by function key as well, F9, and put OK. Now delete this. Now if you observe your mouse, it is snapping at every 10 distance. Means this particular small box is of 10 distance. If you press F9 again, see the snap is off and the cursor is moving very smoothly. You can see that it is not snapping here. It is not snapping at the intersection of the lines. It is not snapping there. Actually, you can say that this small line, this from this point to this point, it is of 10 unit distance, and again this vertical is 10 unit distance. Okay, how I can say? Go to DS, enter. Go to DS, enter. You can see grid X spacing is 10 and grid Y spacing is again 10. Suppose if I do grid X spacing as 20. Okay, one second. Go to DS, enter. Okay, and grid Y spacing is 10. See, grid X spacing is, wait, equal x and y spacing is there, na, that's why it is 20 and it is 10, because this was selected, no, equal x and y spacing, that's why it became equal. So see, grid x spacing and grid y spacing is 10. Press OK. Now you will see a rectangle. See, you will see a rectangle here. How? See, this is 20. X spacing is 20. Okay, this x spacing is 20 and this y spacing is 10. Go to DS, enter. Go to DS and enter. So grid x spacing is 20, grid y spacing is 10. Okay, you can do it. 20. This is also 20. See, the size of the box will increase like this. Okay, now go to DS again. If you select 10 and 10, switch it off. Now see, the box size becomes smaller. Go to DS, enter. Now we have major line every 5. What are those major line? Can you see this little bit whitish line? This is are the major line. This is the major line. See, this line is the major line. This line is the major line. So after every 10 box, major line must be there. DS. So after every 10 box, 5 box, major line must be there. Suppose if I give 10 here, 10 here. Okay. Now what will it show? After every 10 box, after every 10 box, this major line is showing. After every 10 box. Okay. So that's the thing. Now suppose, let us suppose in the snap spacing, suppose if I select 20 here and y spacing 10. Okay, now if you go to command, okay, and put the F9 on, that is snap on, now you will see that at every 20 in the x direction, at every 20 mm distance it will snap. Okay, at every, like here it will snap, then here in the x, but in the y every 10 distance, it will snap. See, but in the x every 20 mm, because each box is 10 cross 10, that's the grid size. So go to DS, enter. So you can say grid spacing 10 cross 10, that's the grid size. Okay, means a square will be shown. Okay, and this is the snap spacing. At every 20 mm your cursor will be snapped if it is on, if the snap is on. I hope this is clear. Yes. Now we have some more options here. As of now, I am switching it off, this snap. Okay, and major line every 5. Okay, now it will show like this. See, after every 5 boxes, this major line will show. After every 5 box, the major line will show. DS, enter, like that. So this is done. Now this is also done. Now let us see this grid style. See, display dotted grid in block editor, sheet layout, and 2D model space. So already I have explained you about the layouts. Okay, so let me explain one by one. Suppose if I select this 2D model space and press OK, go to DS, display dotted grid in 2D model space, this and this, and press OK. One second, some problem is happening. One second. One second. Huh? See, go to DS, 2D model space, and press OK. Actually, this some problem is happening. It happens. Let me restart again. Now see, it is showing as dotted. This must show. At that time some problem was happening. It happens. Sometimes it happens. Not an issue. Go to DS. Okay. Yeah, we could have done region as well. After activating this 2D model space means display dotted grid. I want to show the grid as dotted. Okay, so you have to check. If you want to show your grid as dotted, you have to check this 2D model space part in 2D model space. Okay, so if I had done region, then it might have shown. So go to grid, go to limits. No, Z enter, A enter. So see, it is showing as dotted. So each dot, if you join this dot, you will find a square of 5 cross 5 mm. Okay, and here no major line is showing. Go to DS, enter. This particular major line will not show in the dotted part because after every 5 I want the major line, so that will not show here. Okay, now block editor and sheet layout, check those as well. Okay, now suppose if I open a block editor, suppose if I create a rectangle here. Okay, now let's create a block of this. Already I have explained. Rectangle, pick point. This is the pick point. This is the object to be selected. Enter. Okay, now open in block editor is checked. So press OK. So you can see here in the block editor as well. In the block editor as well, it will show. Okay, in the block editor as well, it will show as dotted. Close the block editor like this. Okay, now go to DS, enter. Sheet layout. If you go to sheet layout, there also it will show a dotted thing. See, so that is not that much important. Okay, so go to DS, enter. Okay, and now after this, look at here very carefully. Adaptive grid. Okay, so as of now I am just switching it off. Go to DS, enter. Now you can see this adaptive grid. After that, can you see that allows subdivision below grid spacing? As of now, if you zoom it, you will see that only up to this particular grid it is showing. Means this much part is showing. Now go to DS, enter. Check this. Check this. Okay, check this. Okay, now zoom it. Once you zoom it, the subdivision of the grid will also start showing. See, every time the subdivision of grid will show. See, it will always show some grid. Yes. So that's the beauty. Okay, now go to DS, enter. You can check it off. Okay, and region. I hope this is clear. Now go to DS, enter. Okay, so this is done. Now we have option display grid beyond limits. So if you want the limit which I have selected, if you want to show the grid beyond limit, you have to check this and press OK. See, it will show like this. Okay, exactly. You might be wondering why this is showing. This is just because once I checked this particular thing as well. So you don't have to worry. You can do like this. So go to grid and you can do from here as well. Grid. No, wait a second. Grid and then limits and then no, like this. Okay. Now DS, enter. After this, we have some more options. See, snap and grid is done. This is also I have explained. Isometric snap is done. Okay, polar tracking is done. Object snap is done. 3D object snap is also that will be done in what can I say, in 3D. Okay, let us go to this quick properties. Quick properties. Okay, so quick properties display the quick properties palette on selection. If you check it, then what will happen? See, okay, now select this. See, this is the quick property option will show. If you select this, this quick property option will show. Means the properties of this particular rectangle like color, layer, line type, global width, closed like that. Go to DS. Okay, now you can see we have palette location. So if you select this, this is known as palette. Now where do you want this palette? DS, enter. Okay, DS, enter. Now it is shown as top left. Suppose if I select top right, okay, select this, it will show in the top right of your particular mouse. See, this is the cursor, so to the top right it will show. It's very not that much important. Okay, you can change the position actually. DS, wait a second, DS, enter. Okay, now go to bottom right. Okay, select this. Now see, it is in the bottom right. Select this. Now just focus on the position of the cursor. The cursor is there, so to the bottom right that palette will come. See, bottom right, like that. Okay, go to DS again. Now I will select bottom left. Select this. Now you will see bottom left. Okay, suppose select this, and if I leave my mouse here, so see, to the bottom left of my cursor it will show. Go to DS, enter. We have one more option called static. Again, it is simple. Select this. Static, it will always show the last position, to the last position. Okay, let me go to DS. Okay, and cursor dependent. Let me do like this, top right. This is the best position for me. So this is the last position. Okay, this is the last position of this particular thing. Now if I go to static now, see, my mouse is here, but it is showing to the last position of the palette because this was the last position of the palette while the cursor dependent option was on. Okay, suppose if I move my mouse up to here, it will show here only. Suppose if I move my mouse here only, so it will show here. So like that it will happen. So cursor dependent and static is also done. Okay, now we have palette behavior minimum number of rows. Suppose if I set it as 1. Now select this. So only one row will show, that is color. Show. But if you hover your mouse there, it will show completely. See, it will show completely. But display is only one. If you change it, go to DS. Here, 2. Okay. Select this. Now it will show 2. But once you hover your mouse there, it will show, else it will collapse. So that's the beauty of it. If you turn it off, so it will not show. It will show completely. Okay. Go to DS. If you turn it on, only it will show 2 rows because 2 rows are selected. And if you hover your mouse here, one second, must show. Select this. It must show. See, it will show. You have to hover your mouse there. It will show completely. But if you move your mouse, only 2 rows will be shown. So that's the quick properties. I am just explaining the important ones. Okay. Yes. Now we have selection cycle. This is already done, and I hope this you can easily, this is easily understandable. Okay, like display selection cycle list box, cursor dependent or static. If you choose a static, suppose we have another line here. Okay, now if I select this, so it will show here. Okay, now suppose go to DS and cursor dependent. Okay, now press OK. See, to the bottom right, because in the DS bottom right is selected. Suppose if I select top right, okay, so select this, see, top right, at the top right this selection is coming. Suppose I want to select this polyline, so polyline is selected. So again, that is not that much important. And dynamic input, you might have remember that F12